4 days before tip-off, the NBA landscape is set. Nothing to do now but sit back and relax. Hey, I was relaxing. So, in 2012, OKC put up a fight in the finals with a big three that had the rest of the NBA scared, and they immediately traded down to a big two? Oh, I get it. Oklahoma's owner hates himself and doesn't want to be happy. Been there, am I right? What were we talking about? Oh yes, the reigning Western Conference champion Oklahoma City Thunder trading away 6th Man of the Year James Harden was a big deal. Hello, I'm interrupting your regularly scheduled programming just briefly to tell you that Secret Base has a Patreon. Join for bonus content every Monday. Now, back to the show. What made this trade so surprising was the success of the 2012 season combined with the commonly known rhyme, "You don't mess with success." Look at this team. Kevin Durant. Okay, that's a leg up on the rest of the league. Russell Westbrook. That's a leg up that's vibrating with fast twitch muscles. Serge Ibaka. That's 2 very effective arms up. And hopping off the bench was James Harden. Masterful off the pick and roll, his reliable, large contribution to the point total kept the Thunder from ever losing momentum during a game. They could rest their stars without missing a beat. Harden sacrificed minutes and ego and engendered the team-first Thunder ethos. So yeah, the Thunder won the Western Conference Finals. And we're kind of close to snatching LeBron's very first Larry O'Brien trophy from him. Now let me tell you that this core was all under 25 years old. This team was the future of the NBA. Their learning experience finals was behind them and likely a springboard to endless success. So why in the world would OKC mess with that? Well, Harden's rookie contract was ending in a year and he wanted a max deal. There was precedent that indicated he'd garner a max deal. But maybe not from the Thunder, who couldn't offer him that kind of money without falling victim to the luxury tax, which had just been altered to be debilitatingly punitive. And as GM Sam Presti shouted from the top of Chesapeake Energy Arena, Oklahoma City is a small market team, 3rd smallest in the league, in fact. They couldn't afford a tax of luxury, my God. But wait a minute. The team had been profitable since they moved from Seattle in 2008, and winning titles brings in money. And the chairman of OKC's ownership group, Clay Bennett, his net worth in 2012 was $400 million. Just pay the tax, Richie. But Clay Richie Bennett probably knows more about money than me. He has collected more of it than I have, though he is older, so maybe we should just wait to compare. For whatever reason, financial know-how or greed or whatever, GM Sam Presti couldn't convince his ownership to pay the luxury tax for Harden. Well, why couldn't he make room under the cap for Harden? There were 2 ways to do this: amnesty Kendrick Perkins or not sign Serge Ibaka to a large contract. The CBA's amnesty clause allowed a team to cut a player, still pay him, but his salary wouldn't count against the cap. This clause has been described as a get-out-of-jail-free card, but a better metaphor is the time I saw someone playing didgeridoo on the subway and someone else paid him to not play didgeridoo on the subway, and the whole subway car benefited. And Kendrick Perkins seemed to many like an ideal candidate to stop playing didgeridoo because he was not an all-star or potential all-star, and using that data, he seemed overpaid. He had 3 years left on a 4-year, $35 million deal. But Perkins played a kind of invaluable role on the Thunder, that of keeping the West's dominating big men from blocking the team's path to the finals, which isn't a column on the stat sheet. In the 2012 Western Conference semis, Perkins kept Andrew Bynum off that path. Same with Tim Duncan in the Western Conference Finals. And for the coming season, the Lakers added Dwight Howard, which could give them the West if it weren't for Perkins. Because Perk wasn't playing didgeridoo. He was playing bass. Big and heavy and out of the spotlight, Perkins glued the band together. The amnesty deadline came and went, and Perk remained with the Thunder. But there was another way to make cap space. Simply sign Harden instead of Serge Ibaka. But that's not what the Thunder did. In 2012, they signed Ibaka to a large deal that made it impossible to also keep Harden without paying the luxury tax, leading many to believe they picked keeping Serge Ibaka over keeping James Harden, which, with hindsight, is bad. But look, in the summer of 2012, a lot of people thought what Ibaka could do was more rare and more valuable than what Harden could do. Here's what they thought Harden could do. Score a lot against subs and/or alongside superstars. Fuck up in the finals. Probably nothing that we haven't seen him already do, which has been great so far, to be fair. Here's what they thought Ibaka could do. Continue to improve at a rapid clip, anchor the OKC defense on an elite level, and determine the balance of power in the NBA. It's hard to predict the future. That's why it costs so many tickets to have your fortune read at the county fair. There were some clairvoyant voices out there, but even their predictions fell short. The Thunder looked at the evidence and made an educated bet on Serge Ibaka. They still had options to keep Harden, mainly offer him less than a max deal. He likes sacrificing for the team, he said so. Apparently, less money and a bench role was too much sacrifice. Then the only option left for the Thunder was to trade James Harden and hope to get back strong enough pieces that they'd remain title contenders. Wait a second, Harden's rookie contract didn't end until 2013. So why trade him in 2012? Why not let this core run it back with their learning experience finals under their belt and, go for glory? Well, because Harden was a more valuable trade asset in 2012. If a new team gets him now, they're only paying him a rookie contract amount for the 2012-2013 season, which is cheap for an Olympic gold medal winner, which James became as the top reserve on Team USA over the summer, while OKC was letting the amnesty deadline pass and signing Serge Ibaka. The Thunder had decided that getting the best return for Harden was more important than a potential championship in 2013. So what could they get in return? Some say Sam Presti's first call was to the Warriors. He wanted Klay Thompson and a pick, but Golden State would have also had a tough time fitting Harden under the cap. Other sources say his first call was to the Raptors. He wanted rookie center Jonas Valanciunas as a successor to and potential improvement on Kendrick Perkins. But the Raptors weren't interested. Now, his first call might have actually been to the Wizards, because before the draft, he was talking to them about trading Harden for the guy the Wizards were going to pick 3rd overall, Bradley Beal. The draft was June 28th. The finals ended on June 21st.
I'm beginning to think they were planning to trade Harden all along.
The Wizards didn't go for Presti's idea because they didn't want to pay for Harden. Oklahoma wasn't the only team that couldn't tell the future. There were conversations with both the Suns and the Jazz, but nothing materialized. Which brings us to the trade that did materialize. James Harden to the Rockets for Kevin Martin, 12th overall draft pick Jeremy Lamb, and 3 future picks. This was not seen as a bad trade, even from OKC faithful. Yeah, it's sad to lose Harden, but this didn't look bad. Kevin Martin could score off the bench, maybe not as much as Harden, sure, but still a lot. Lamb looked promising, and the Thunder was good with developing talent. And the picks, it was 2 first-rounders, one of which could be a lottery pick, and an early second-rounder, which is nice. Plus, Presti was good at building through the draft. Also influencing how good this deal looked, nobody knew what Harden was capable of. With hindsight, this trade is not ideal for the Thunder. What could they have been with Harden the superstar alongside Durant and Westbrook, the superstars? Permanent champions? But it's impossible to have hindsight in the moment. And hang on, the Harden trade wasn't that bad for Oklahoma. OKC was still really, really good without him. 2013, they were finals bound until Patrick Beverley didn't intend to tear Westbrook's meniscus. The following year, they took the Western Conference Finals to 6 games. Then Durant was hurt, that's a mulligan. 2016 was great until Klay Thompson made 11 threes in Game 6 like a jerk. Harden couldn't have stopped that. My point is, the Thunder were still title contenders without Harden. And the assets they got for Harden were helpful in making them title contenders. Well, some of them. Kevin Martin was great. Jeremy Lamb, okay, didn't amount to much. But those picks, one of them turned into Steven Adams, a franchise cornerstone and a big help in those deep playoff runs.
Okay, now hold on, slow down. I actually can hear you screaming at your screen right now. And you're right. Title contention and deep playoff runs are nothing compared to a dynasty.
So Sam Presti and the Thunder get called wrong and dumb and short-sighted. Jeremy Lamb apparently still gets death threats, which seems like too much. But the truth is, most people in 2012 underestimated Harden. From journalists to the Wizards to his own team. I guess maybe actually the Rockets were onto something, though. Thanks for watching, everybody. I know there are a lot of things you could choose to do when you fire up the old internet, and that you came here means a lot. Stick around for other videos, join the Patreon, and for Secret Base, I'm Clara Morris. Good night and good game.